Oh, good. You're unblurred. I like how FaceTime does that. It blurs you out when you're not actually looking at me, so I can tell when you don't have me on the screen. So, like, if you're just going to do something and not pay attention to me while we're podcasting, I'd know.
You can see me.
Yeah.
It's wear your hood Wednesday.
Yeah. Clearly.
It's Thursday. Fuck. Fuck.
They don't know that.
They do now.
Throw on your hood Thursday. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
No, Josh is wearing a hood, people. That's why he's referring to his hood. He's very cozy right now. I'm quite cozy, too. I have like a thermal shirt on and some nice cozy sweatpants.
I'm just trying to get cozy.
Was just outside in the yard playing with Rylan in the dark a little bit. She was just running around looking at our light up snowman and the Christmas lights and stuff. We had a little Christmas light swing, so that was fun. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the PUDs Podcast. So what's going on, man?
What's up, dude? Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah,
it was Nick's birthday yesterday.
Yes. December 6th, for anybody that wants to know.
Timestamp it.
Still in my early 30s, I think. Going through the third of a life crisis.
Yeah. You're in the first third of your 30s.
Yeah. Still in the first third of my 30s.
Oh, man.
Like you. It's a good place to be.
Yeah. It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
The early 30s is a very very comfortable place to be.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it should be anyways. Maybe not for everybody, but I'm in a pretty comfy place.
Haven't gotten to that midlife crisis quite yet.
Yeah. You haven't been like, I need to go buy like a Corvette or something.
No. It's not going to be, for me, it's not going to be a Corvette. It's going to be like a vacation home in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
that's
better.
it. I've talked about it for years. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to get a condo.
I'm going to quit my job and buy a condo.
I'm going to get a condo at Loon.
Yeah. Oh, man. One day. I think we'll both get a place up there one day. Separate places, but not too far apart.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, man. So what's going on?
Nothing much. Just chilling. Kind of did some birthday stuff. Ash was kind enough to make me my requested meal for my birthday, which was just some buffalo wings and some broccoli quiche and some homemade sweet potato fries. So those were quite tasty.
Nice.
And kind of just chilled out. And other than that, not a whole ton going on. We're getting ready to go get our Christmas tree tomorrow, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Where'd you decide on?
We're gonna go to J&L Landscaping.
Oh, the same place.
Yeah,
okay.
So there's a new farm up. Well, I shouldn't say they're not a new farm up the street, but they're doing Christmas stuff now. And Ash thought they did Christmas trees, but I drove by and they definitely do not do Christmas trees. So I think we might check it out. I was gonna maybe throw them some business if they did do Christmas trees, just because they're right up the street and they were a new place. But
when you go pick up your tree, see if J&L will sponsor us.
I should really ask them, like, you guys have any podcasts that you sponsor? Do you guys sponsor anybody?
You guys want to sponsor the pod?
The guy's like, we'll give you like 50-pound bags of lime for free.
Beautiful. Nick would love it.
Yeah.
It's good for the soil. Some
scheme where we just get like stuff for free from them that we resell on Amazon and then use the funds for our podcast.
There you go. I got a 30-pound bag of red mulch for you.
Yeah. You can have this for free. You can just get all your mulch for free.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd actually would be really okay with that.
Yeah, I would take free mulch.
Mulch costs money, man.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Especially when you need a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But, yeah.
What you said before made me think of something, though.
What's that?
If you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
I have no idea. That's really tough to pick. It honestly might be something chicken wing related. Yeah, I don't know. Or it sounds pretty basic, but like I don't know, or a nice like some type of salmon. No, I think I would want to do the time to research something exotic. Yeah. Like if you're on death row, you probably would have plenty of time to like think about something really elaborate.
But like what? But then what if it's something elaborate and exotic, but then it's just like not good? Like you don't like it.
That'd be really disappointing. It's just like, this is awful.
Sad way to go.
It's like something you've always wanted to try, like caviar or something crazy like that, and you just eat it and you're like, this tastes like shit.
Oh, meal's over. Zap. Oh man.
What would your pick be?
I'd probably go with I don't know. Five Guys burgers and fries. Five Guys. We have 2 patties.
That's pretty good.
Sponsor the pod.
I just remember going to eat Five Guys at work a few times, or I should say from work on my lunch break to Five Guys, because there was one like near kind of where I work in like a plaza, and we stopped going because like when we would eat Five Guys, we just would want to like go to sleep afterwards.
Yeah,
because you're just like you just need to sit. You just need to sit somewhere and just digest for a bit and just not talk to anybody. Being in a meeting after Five Guys and just burping up like onions and like pickles and stuff and burger smells and bacon, it's delicious.
Yeah. But you want to go with something that, like, you know you're going to enjoy. I've never had a bad Five Guys burger. Like, you're going to get, you're going to be happy, and then you're going to be tired, and then you just drift off, right? Yeah, exactly, right into the zap, and then that's it.
Yeah. We're going to get canceled.
Yeah, we went off the rails a little bit.
It's fine.
Apologies to anybody that's been on death row, I guess.
Or might be on death row and listening to our podcast. Yeah, that'd be
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. They got nothing but free time.
Anywho, what's been going on with you?
Not much, man. Just busy at work, getting ready for the holiday season. Yeah, excited going to the Bristol Christmas festival this weekend. So we're really looking forward to that. They put on a good Christmas scene over there.
You guys have been there before too, right?
Yeah, this will be like the 3rd year that we've gone there, and it's awesome. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on over there. They have like people doing wood carvings. They have a huge like vendor sale, like in this giant marina basically. And then they got like live shows happening. They built this whole Santa house that Santa goes in for the kids to meet, and they've decked it out. That Santa's like the best Santa I've ever seen. Yeah, it's crazy.
I remember you remarking the Santa before.
Yeah,
he was just the best.
Like when you're an adult and it's blowing your mind, I can't even imagine what these kids go through going into that house. It must be insane.
So they have like take me through it. Does it have like a workshop in it? Like what's the deal? Or it's just really Christmassy decorated?
Yeah, it's really Christmassy decorated.
Is there a Mrs. Claus?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll report back to you on
never
the next
noticed.
one. I'll let you know.
I never noticed.
Yeah. Too mesmerized by Santa sitting there in his amazing outfit, like with all these decorations. Every inch of this place is covered in like some decoration or something. It's wild.
That's cool.
Yeah, they do a great job. So yeah, we'll be going to that this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a family thing with Ash's family at the Century House in Fairhaven. So that should be fun as well.
Fairhaven.
Yeah, and then we got we took Round a swim class this past Sunday. So Ash went in with her. Yeah, the YMCA around here. I'm taking her. I'm probably gonna go in with her this Sunday. So that should be fun.
How was it?
She did fine. I mean,
yeah.
She didn't like cry or anything. She seemed to generally enjoy it.
That's good.
She like wanted to get out of the pool though and like walk around after like half an hour. So it was just around that span of time, anyways.
Yeah.
Couldn't really expect her to just chill up there all day and float around.
Yeah. Do they just have her like on the floaty and they just kind of hold her the whole time?
Yeah,
there's somebody in there with her.
Yeah, Ash was in there with her.
Okay.
And it looked like both of us could have gone in, but they didn't mention that at first, so I was just kind of sitting there observing, just sweating my biz off.
With your bathing suit on, just looking.
No, I didn't
just
bring.
Disappointed.
Yeah, just sad with my bathing suit on. No, I just sat. I should have worn something other than a
splash around too.
I want to frolic. In the water. Yeah, it was pretty warm though. I made the mistake of wearing like my sweatpants and sweatshirt and didn't bring like a change of clothes because it was like 80 degrees and humid because it's a pool inside.
Yeah, the pool at the Y it's always hot in there.
Yeah, it was straight up tropical. But she seemed to enjoy, so I'll be doing that this Sunday morning.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good time. We did Jeremiah 2 sessions of swim lessons like last year or the year before, and but no floaty for him, so it's like legitimately teach you how to swim.
Yeah, That's cool.
So he didn't like it too much because he doesn't like getting water in his ears.
Really?
So it's like,
yeah. Like
he just don't like the feeling.
Like just
he freaks out.
The feeling of like just water pushing against your ears, like when you go under.
Pushing against your ears, touching your ears. Like he just doesn't like.
So not even like when you actually do get water trapped in your ears and you got to do like the hop on one foot thing.
Not even to that point.
Oh, okay. Because that really sucks. That's annoying when that happens.
Yeah. I had swimmer's ear a couple times. It's terrible, dude.
What is that, like an ear infection sort of thing?
Yeah, it's like the water gets trapped in your ear, and then it just, it gets all infected, and it's just inflamed, and you have this pounding headache, and it just hurts all the time.
You're really encouraging me to go in the YMCA pool, Josh. I'm not gonna go underwater.
Yeah. Definitely nobody peed in there.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a bunch of like infants and toddlers with like swim diapers on. I'm like, I wonder how much pee is in this pool right now.
So much.
I mean, they use a ton of chlorine, I know, so it's sterile, but it's still kind of gross if you think about it too much.
Pee.
You think about it too much.
Maybe a couple poops in there too.
Yeah, at least the poops get trapped in the diaper though. Hopefully. Ideally.
Oh, there's definitely some leakage.
Yeah.
There's some leakage.
See a brown cloud come out. We gotta go. My bad.
We gave him pears yesterday.
Who would have thought it'd react that way to his digestive tract? We gave our baby chili last night before he took him to swim class. Who would have thought that'd work out poorly? He just exploded in the pool.
None of those kids ever came back to swim class.
Ever again.
Oh, man. All right. You want to get into the main topic?
Yeah, let's do it. So I know you had mentioned in the last episode, and we're just going to do a little SPUDs-y episode with this, but kind of talking about when I got up to Middle Sister and Chocorua this Sunday after Thanksgiving. I kind of was watching the weather. I ended up coming down with a cold. I kind of mentioned that briefly too last episode, but got this nasty sinus infection that I could feel coming on before Thanksgiving. Incidentally, like a week after you had a pretty bad sinus infection.
Yeah.
And I think just running around and stuff, it finally caught up with me, and like Thanksgiving night, had a fever and stuff, so kind of just rested up Friday, Saturday, slept like 12 hours both nights, or at least as much as I could, and then finally Sunday the weather was looking a little bit better. I only had 5 of my 52 of the views left at that point. The final 3 peaks that I'm saving, the Bald Faces and Eagle Crag, I'm kind of saving for one big hike, and I'm going to wait to the spring because one of the trails on that is another list trail. It's on the Terrifying 25, and it's the Bald Face. I believe it's the Bald Face Circle Trail, the Bald Face Loop Trail, but I kind of want to do that when it gets a little bit warmer, so I'm going to save those last 3 at least for kind of when it gets snow free and not ice and whatnot, and don't want to be doing that trail unless you have like ice climbing experience once you get snow and ice on it. So yeah, I kind of was looking, and Middle Sister I haven't done, so kind of look to get up there. And
just to backtrack,
yeah.
Nick comes down with a sinus infection, gets a terrible, terrible fever, is out of commission for 2 days. And what does he do immediately on that 3rd day? He goes hiking. Beautiful.
Yeah. It might have been, I mean, I had no voice by the end of the day, but I feel like I felt better after I went. I don't know if it was being out in the fresh air or whatever.
You don't need to have a voice if you're talking. You're hiking and not talking to everybody.
I was filming, so that became a problem almost at the end. I was like hacking up a lung.
Hey, it's me, Nick.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Come do this hike with me.
Yeah. So I woke up and coughed up a bunch of crap and kind of made my way up to New Hampshire. I got up pretty early, and Middle Sister is a peak that's on Chocorua, which is sort of the eastern end of the Kank. It's kind of technically in the Lakes region of New Hampshire on the eastern side, but it's really not too far from like the Conway area. And Chocorua itself is a super popular mountain in New Hampshire. The state quarters, I don't know if they're still doing the state quarter thing or not. Is that still a thing? Do you know? You know, the state quarters were doing pictures and whatnot. It is still a thing. Okay, so the New Hampshire state quarter, their picture is actually Chocorua Lake with Mount Chocorua behind it. So to give you an idea of how distinctive that peak is, just because they could pick a lot of stuff to put on that quarter. You think
that's a great piece of bar trivia.
Yeah.
That is a great bar trivia
you like
piece.
That? Yeah, so on the state quarter, they have the main peak of Chocorua, and then there's this sort of little ridge line that leads up to the main peak called the Three Sisters, and the middle one is Middle Sister, hence the name Middle Sister, and that's also its own peak on the 52 of the view list. Besides Chocorua. Chocorua is also on the 52 of the view list, and we've done it before, but Middle Sister I hadn't gotten to incidentally yet, and it has incredible 360 views from it, so kind of went up and got up there that day, got up early. I think I started at the trailhead around 9 o'clock, 8:45-ish. Was filming too, looking to make another video, so I kind of took my time going up it, which was probably good with, given my current cold situation. I was not going to be sprinting up there.
Yeah.
Not that I sprint, but I usually can make pretty good time if I'm not filming or anything.
Let me tell you, those pictures from the top, those are some of your best ones you've gotten yet.
Thank you,
especially
sir.
with the snow. With the snow that's happening up there, it's picturesque.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
you're welcome.
I took a bunch that day. Went up towards Middle Sister from the Champney Falls trailhead. It was about 15 degrees too, which is worth mentioning. It was a little nipply out. I was curious how my camera was going to work, which it ended up being fine most of the day.
Yeah.
Since I think
that's what I was going to ask. Everything, the camera worked fine.
Yeah, it worked in general. It wasn't terribly cold as the day went on. Like, it was probably in the 20s or like the high teens really for standing temperature, and the wind really wasn't that bad all day. But my camera, other than noticing that it was a little slow maybe to autofocus here and there when I was starting it up, did fine. I brought a backup battery with me too that did fine. So made my way up, and on the way up to Champney Falls, which I didn't take as many pictures of these because I took a bunch of video of it, but Champney Falls Trail is named after a waterfall called Champney Falls that's maybe like a mile and a half in on the way up. And there's another waterfall near it called Pitcher Falls that are both just really really pretty waterfalls. They were all like frozen and iced up and stuff.
Nice.
Looking real pretty and wintry. And yeah, I got
for
above
the Christmas card.
Oh yeah. It's gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna use one of those for the Christmas card or not. I'm probably gonna use some of the Chocorua pictures for calendar pictures. I'm gonna do this year though.
Just start selling your pictures as stock photos to like Vistaprint and say you can use this as a stock photo and just put whatever you want on it.
That's probably not a bad idea. I know a friend of the podcast, Nate, has actually sold some of his photos to some stock photo play. It might have been even like Adobe stock photos or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Yeah,
I'm here for you, buddy.
You're always thinking. Yeah. And
so well, I guess to start, like, why'd you pick these two? Is it because you needed them for the 52 of the view?
So Chocorua I didn't need, but yeah, I needed Middle Sister, and I kind of figured they're like relatively close. Like, I don't know if they're like a mile and a half apart. Probably about a mile and a half. I'd have to look at a map exactly, but they're not terribly far apart. Middle Sister by itself is like 2,100 feet and like maybe 7 miles or something like that out and back. So it's not like a terribly really long hike. The trail is pretty moderate. It was actually really super packed out because Chocorua is just popular. So I had my Hill Sound trail crampons on the whole time, basically just spikes.
Is it from the same trailhead you can get to both?
Yep. Yeah. You kind of get up sort of the ridge line kind of area. It's not like a Franconia ridge line, but it still has a ton of great views and stuff. It's kind of sort of like an alpine zone almost.
Nice.
Yeah. But there's a couple different trailheads, but the one I did was off the Kank. So you kind of drive up off 93 and then catch the Kank through Lincoln and go almost to the end of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long did the entire hike take you?
Maybe about 6.5 hours. I think I started around 9, finished like 3:30 about, and it was sad. Yeah. It was like it was like pretty dark in the little valley I was coming down in by 3:30. If I had made it till 4 o'clock, I would have had to wear a headlamp for sure on the way down, just because there's like no daylight this time of year. Like, even so the pictures that I got, like even from Chocorua, like it looks like people were like, oh, it looks like sunset. It's like that was like probably like 2:30, 2:15.
Yeah.
But it's just the angle of the sun's so low this time of year. Oh, it doesn't really get that high in the sky, but it looks like it basically was sunset because of this time of year.
How long did you spend on top taking pictures and stuff?
So I think I got to Chocorua, I think eventually around 1:30, maybe like that. I probably spent like half an hour or so up there, half an hour to an hour. I got to Middle Sister first, like probably around like 10, probably had to be like 11:30, 12. again, I was kind of moving slowly because, like, the deal with filming, like, to get any shots, I go. Yeah. I have to, like, walk away from the camera, go back and get the camera, or, like, set up the camera and walk at the camera, or just take still shots of my tripod, like, shooting at stuff and kind of wait for it. And it got to Middle Sister, and I wasn't, like, totally positive. I'm like, I'll see how I'll feel, because I really would like to get to Chocorua. There was also, like, nobody up there, which I was kind of get a kick out of for some reason. It's just kind of fun when you're up there and there's not, like, hundreds of people. Like, when me and Ash did Chocorua back in June of 2020, like, we easily saw, like, 150 people while we were hiking. Like, not even exaggerating. Like, it's just really popular.
Did you see anyone? I
saw 2 other people all day, which, in the pictures, I don't know if you noticed, but there's one where it almost looks like it could be a tree, but I got a picture of one of them standing on top of Chocorua from, like, far away from Middle Sister.
Wow.
Like, if you zoom in and stuff, like, it's funny because I've shared them on some of the social media pages around hiking and stuff, and, like, almost in kind of hopes, I kind of was hoping someone would come out like, oh, we saw you up there that day, and I'd be like, here's this awesome picture of you I got from Middle Sister from, like a mile and a half away or something with you standing on top. It looks pretty epic.
Nice.
Because, like, the sun's, like, almost, like, right behind them and stuff, and it just looks pretty epic.
They were ghosts, Nick.
Yeah, imagine they weren't there. They were,
that was your fever. That was your fever. Those people were actually there.
It's like, there wasn't any other cars in the parking lot. That was the weird thing. No. Yeah. Yeah, I crossed 2 people at first coming up, and then they were coming down from Chocorua, so I'm almost positive it was these folks that I passed. Really nice couple that I was talking to, and they were really enjoying it. They hadn't been up Chocorua before, so they were pretty impressed.
Nice. First time?
Yeah, they were nice. They were super impressed. So
I would imagine, like, out of any time of year, this year is probably, like, the most dangerous time to hike, because, and that's just me saying, like, this time of year it could go from a nice 60-degree day to, like, in the 20s, snowing, whatever, in, like, the matter of moments.
Yeah, it's a little wild for sure.
Yeah. So how do you prepare for hiking this time of year?
I mean, it varies. Like, luckily, like, nowadays we can get a pretty good feel for, like, what the mountains are looking like. There's so many Facebook groups that are into hiking, and then there's a couple websites like New England Trail Conditions where people can post trail conditions. I kind of had an idea of what it looked like. New Hampshire seems like where they're going to have a pretty big snow year this year. It looks like maybe a little bit of warm up this weekend, but they've just been getting snow. Like, I know in the higher, like, 4,000 footers, there's, like, over a foot of snow. There was over a foot of snow on Chocorua in spots when I was up there, and they've gotten more snow since then. So, but yeah, to your point, it can really go either way. Like, I hiked around Veterans Day with a friend of the podcast, Mike, last year, and it was, like, 60 degrees and no snow or anything. And this year, like, I already was wearing my spikes. There was one section of trail up to Middle Sister called Champney Falls Cutoff that branches off Champney Falls Trail. And I kind of started down it, and I'm like, oh, there's a track of footprints. Like, that'll be cool. Like, I don't have to just straight up break it out. And they lasted to, like, a viewpoint about 100 yards down the trail, and then they ended. So I had to break trail for, like, it was only like 0.2 miles or something, pretty meager, but being sick still, I was like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I could have used snowshoes. Like, there was that much snow in a few spots where I was not post-holing, but it's just that shit gets tiring really quick when you're walking through like a foot of powdery snow and, like, spikes, and you got your camera stuff and everything else on me.
That becomes a theme with you. Make sure you bring your snowshoes.
Yeah.
And you never bring your snowshoes.
Yeah. Well, I do once it's winter, I'm, like, more, like, straight up, like, I mean, even if I hike anything, like, next weekend, I think I'm going to be looking, and I'm definitely will be bringing my snowshoes, like, no doubt. There's a lot of snow. But, again, this time of year, like, it can change, and yeah, it's, I mean, you kind of got to pack for winter, like, once it gets to be November up there. That's just sort of the way it is.
Yeah. I think the big thing that you just said is kind of doing your research beforehand and making sure you kind of fully understand what it's going to be like, or you have a good general idea of what it could potentially look like when you get up there, what the weather's going to look like, what the trail is looking like. And that's just from people on Facebook and those different groups that are out there actually doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a good point to just make sure you do your research before you head out and do something like that this time of year.
Yeah, and I mean, Chocorua is, like, pretty popular too. So, like, when I say it's packed out, like, all the snow was basically packed down on the main trail from Champney Falls Trail to, like, Piper Trail, which is kind of the main one that goes up to Chocorua from that way, was just basically like a highway of packed ice, which actually makes it a lot easier to hike on when it's packed. You don't have to worry about rocks and roots and shit like that. Like it took me less than an hour and a half, I think, to get down from Chocorua to do like 3-ish miles or whatever. So that's like maybe 4 miles, but not bad at all.
How would you like rate the difficulty of the trails that you did?
Not that difficult. It depends, and that's going to vary like seriously from person to person. Like out of some of the hikes I've done, like Chocorua is really easy. Like I think doing both of them again was probably around like 9 miles and like less than 3,000 feet of elevation gain. Yeah. So like perspective wise, like we've talked about before, like my adopted trail airline cutoff in the Northern Presidentials is like 3-ish miles, 3.5 miles one way, and it's like 3,250 feet. So it's like more elevation gain just to get up to that.
So for the average person, if they prepare, like if they prepared well, you think the average person would have a basically a pretty smooth time going up and down?
Yeah, and I mean, this time of year is a little bit different, but if you're just going up in the summer from Champney Falls Trailhead to do Chocorua, and it's like a nice day, like you're not going to have that much difficulty. Like it's pretty mellow, and the only really there's a couple scrambles to get to the top of Chocorua. It's kind of this little craggy summit cone that I got some really like awesome pictures of that you could see, and it's interesting. Like it almost looks like a lot bigger mountain than it is, just because it's like standing by itself and it's like completely bald and stuff.
Yeah. But
there's a couple little scrambly sections, but it's nothing that crazy for New Hampshire standards, I would say. Like,
I'd say it's worth it, cause just for the pictures that you got, like, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see.
Yeah, I was lucky. I had that's like one of the cool things about the winter too, is when you get those cool, dry days, there's not as much humidity in the air, so the visibility is just like incredible. It was fantastic, and because of where Chocorua is situated in sort of that southeastern or south, like central sort of pocket of the White Mountains, like you have a front row seat to like Mount Washington, really close to actually one of the other hikes I did a video with, Mount Paugus and like Whiteface and Passaconaway, which are two other 4,000 footers kind of around the lakes area. They're kind of sort of really close to you, sort of off to the west. And then you got like the moats around Conway. You could see Cranmore and Conway really clearly. You kind of got like the eastern to the east. You sort of got like Maine and that whole like flat area. And then again, the whole presidential range. You could see Carrigan. You could see Franconia Ridge. You could see Crawford Notch where 302 goes through. It's pretty sick. Like you can see everything basically.
That's awesome.
And then you can see like the Ossipes and like some of the lakes and things like that to the south of where Chocorua is. But there's a reason like I mentioned it even in the video when I was talking to myself, because I'm just by myself in the video. But there's a reason it's kind of renowned for being such a great peak, and why it's like on the state quarter and things like that. Like it has a very dramatic silhouette, I guess you could say. It's very noticeable from like a lot of different areas in New Hampshire. It's just kind of really distinctive with sort of the 3 bumps and then the main peak going up like that. That's super bald. And it's not super challenging to hike. There's a couple of there's definitely challenging routes on it too. I don't mean to like brush over the rest of it. Like there's a lot of trails going up Chocorua, and one of them is actually a terrifying 25 that I was gonna try to do kind of a couple weeks ago, and ended up doing Mariah and Shelburne Mariah, but we opted against it because it's got like an open ledge section that's absolutely not recommended to do with snow and ice on it. It's like it's a no fall zone, so like it would not be good if you fell or slipped in that section.
Well, no fall means if you fall, you're done. So
you're toast basically from what I've heard and read and stuff. So got some sick pictures. I took a lot of video and actually been working on compiling that and editing it together. But the pictures were like, I kind of was going through it, and like it was almost one of those, because you're like there looking at it, you get like desensitized to it because you're just like, oh, this is freaking awesome. But after you're up there for even 2 or 3 hours, I think that's just a human thing. You're just like, there's another just epic views everywhere, like whatever. Yeah. So it's kind of more like when I was looking at the photos like a couple days later, I'm like, wow, these, like, granted I was using Lightroom to edit and stuff, but like you can't make a shitty photo look like amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you need a good baseline. So I started going through some of these, and I'm like, holy crap, like you could see like the observatory on Mount Washington like very clearly in a couple of the photos and everything.
That's insane.
And I'm not even really using a crazy long lens or anything like that. It's like a 12 to 60 millimeter lens. And
you said sitting at the top for 2 and 3 hours. That's like 2.5 more hours than I'd like to sit at the top.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't do it. I mean, I could, but my ADHD won't allow me.
Yeah, they had different stuff up there to check out. So Middle Sister has like I don't know if you noticed, there was like sort of a base, like a stone sort of wall thing in one of them, but it's actually a building. So that's an old USFS United States Forest Service. I'm like, I gotta sound it out and think about it in my head.
Say it. Just say what it is.
Either way, it's a fire lookout tower that was constructed and kind of in service for, I think it was like around the 20s until around the end of World War II. That operated. And it's kind of interesting that I guess when they proposed putting a lookout tower up there, a lot of the locals in the towns were like super pissed because it's such a beautiful mountain. They didn't want like a giant tower like on top of it.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
And they actually made that tower on Middle Sister as opposed to Chocorua because they didn't want to put it on top of Chocorua. Though I did see some foundations almost that look on Chocorua, so I'm not sure if Chocorua had something on it at one time. But in any event, they built it on Middle Sister, and they actually built it with a really super low profile so that it wouldn't be that noticeable from below. Like, you can't really see it from the valleys or anything like that.
Until you get up top.
Yeah. And the one thing I didn't notice about it, too, and if anyone listening is doing Middle Sister, the, like, center of that, like, whole building, like, I kind of walked up, it's just open. There's no floor or anything on top of it. Like, I figured looking at it, it was sort of like a platform or something, but it's not. It's just open. So, like, you just walk to this top of the stairwell, and it's just open. It's just, like, an open, like, story down, looking down into, like, sort of this foundation sort of stone building thing. It was kind of funny. So I was like, oh, shit, I can't walk any longer, walk further out there.
So there's nothing in there?
Yeah. No, just chilling. Wow. Yeah. I guess you could go in there if you really had to, like, take shelter or something. But there was a sign that was, like, basically, don't go in this, please. We're not liable for what you do.
Well, what might happen if you take that step because you think there's gonna be something there for you to step onto.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was also a USFS small radio repeater on top of it. So, like, basically a radio antenna that's in use that had solar panels on it. Looked like to power it. So it kind of weird because it, like, sort of makes the views look a little bit crappier because it's like man-made things on the mountain, but it was just so fantastic up there. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So pretty soon we'll have the your winter hikes coming up soon, right?
Yeah, gonna be gearing up.
What is it, the winter?
The winter 48. Yeah, the winter 48. Yeah, I'm almost halfway through. I've got 22, and already gearing up for some group hikes potentially in January to try to get some of the longer ones.
Nice. What do you got planned? So what do you got planned for your winter 48?
So the other, sound like redundant, but the other 26 peaks. But for real, this year, like, I really want to check out Mount Madison and potentially Mount Adams and do some of the bigger hikes that I haven't done yet. I've got some longer ones left that I really need to do, like, that people kind of dread, like Owl's Head and, like, a Bonds Traverse to get West Bond and Bond Cliff in Zealand and whatnot. So,
just you gonna try to knock those out this year?
Hopefully. I'm actually kind of in touch with someone that's kind of planning some group hikes a couple weekends in January, so I'm hoping to hook up with a crew of people to do those because they're just really long days. I mean, like, Owl's Head is like, I don't know if that's like 14, I forget the mileage. It's a long day. It's like 14 or 15 miles or something to do Owl's Head.
You need the extra push.
It'd be nice.
From other people, and
not even,
it's nice,
or just not to be by myself.
Happens.
Yeah, exactly. More for that scenario. Like, I mean, I've hiked a lot of them by myself. The Bonds Traverse, I mean, though I don't think anybody really traverses the Bonds from north to south as much in the winter, unless it's like broken out for some reason. But to do that again is like, you're talking like an 18-mile day and like probably close to 5,000 feet, 4,500 feet. So it'd be good to do it with other people and share the load and not be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to suffer in silence.
Yeah, exactly. or to the camera. Yeah. I won't be filming those. Those are way too long. See if I continue to take my camera out with me with these nice winter days. It's gonna have to be a nice day for me to pack that in my pack with like an extra lens to take pictures.
Yeah.
I've really been having fun doing it, but it definitely adds some weight. And then you're also just sort of worried about like dropping your camera or like this was my first experience too with it because I haven't really used it in the snow with like trying to make sure everything stays dry. So you're going through like wet like pine brush and things like that and trying to make sure that nothing gets super wet. And then it was so cold that if stuff got wet and I put like a lens cover on it, like it probably would have frozen to the camera. So it's like it was a learning experience for sure. So I was just trying to like keep everything dry to the best of my ability and not do anything stupid or get water inside the camera or condensation or anything like that.
And not even that. That's valuable space, dude, that you might need like an extra layer to pack away or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
So you're like got to be like, oh, do I really want to bring up a camera? I'm sure I'll film at least one of them or at least take my camera up to get some pictures. But that's kind of one reason why I like doing the 52s, because they're generally easier hikes and I've got more time to dick around and like try to get good shots and take my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little GoPro, dude. No GoPro for you?
So friend of the podcast, friend of the Wilkie.
I'm a friend of the Wilkie.
Yeah, a friend of the Wilkie. Friend of the podcast, Wilkie, has one that I may be bugging him for to try it out. I mean, I used my phone like a good amount of last year, and I think with what I know more about editing now and stuff, I think I could do a lot better job even with my phone. And you can film in like Apple ProRes format or like 4K and things like that just from your phone. It won't be as much fun and probably not as detailed and whatnot because it's not like a more cinematic camera sort of deal.
Right.
And you don't have different lenses and stuff on that, but it's really tempting when the fact that you pretty much take it with you anyways and you can take video with it. It's kind of tough to beat.
Yeah. It's I mean, I think the thing of the GoPro is, right, it's just that you can take it around so easily. You just can clip it to
oh yeah
a headband or whatever, and you can just film everything that you're doing.
Yeah, and you can still put it on a tripod or whatever like that, and they're like indestructible, like for the most part. Like most of them are like completely waterproof, and not that my camera's weather sealed. And for anybody that's out there into cameras or video cameras, it's a Lumix GH6. But yeah, it's not like if I drop it, I'm like shit, and I have dropped it several times already. So I'm really trying not to beat
$1,200 down the drain.
Yeah, I'm really trying not to beat it up too much. I already like kind of damaged the screen a little bit, like more aesthetically than it's still completely usable. But just that was a Mount Tremont with a gust of wind that just knocked it over because I was being a jackass and put it in like a higher spot and didn't think it would get knocked over. And then Mother Nature was like, no.
I'd be sick. I'd be absolutely sick to my stomach.
I was pretty pissed at myself. Not gonna lie.
Oh my lord!
There was some choice words said because the video was still rolling too, and you just hear me in the background going like, "What the?"
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else for hiking?
No, that's kind of it right now. Yeah. Anybody out there, if you haven't done Chocorua and or if you're just getting into hiking and you just want to go for a hike, I highly recommend it on a nice day if you want to kind of tackle it, especially from the Champney Falls trailhead. Like I said, there's other challenging routes, so sort of do your research, but it's easy to get to. It has freaking incredible views.
Yeah. I was about to say it's a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, I'll have to share some to our Instagram and stuff or at least when we post saying that this episode's ready, because some of the photos were just pretty good if I do say so myself. Yeah,
they are. They're great. They're great. Yeah. Sell them to Vistaprint.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah. Do you wanna do a descent?
Yeah. Let's get into it. Is your voice nice and clean now?
Yeah, got a nice clean voice. No, I was just gonna say, I know we're gonna be getting into we're kind of in the middle of this Christmas season, so I think we're planning on our next couple episodes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, doing a nice, probably an episode of Christmas movies, some of our favorite Christmas movies. We'll get into that a little bit, and then probably another episode of Christmas music, some of our favorite Christmas songs, holiday songs. Yeah, I think so. Those will probably be the next two episodes. We're really looking forward to doing those. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I get it's funny. Like you were texting me the other day about Christmas songs. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna pick Christmas albums.
It's too many.
Yeah, I'm like, there's too many damn songs. Yeah. Especially with there's so many different versions of songs. There's like I was listening to I forget that Manchester Orchestra did like an acoustic like Christmas album like 2 years ago.
Oh,
I was playing that today. I was like, it's so good. I totally forgot about that one.
Yep. I'm gonna have to like break mine down by like generation, I think. That's how I'm going to have to do it, because there's too many. There's too many good ones.
That's a solid idea.
too many good ones. But yeah, so keep a lookout for that. And besides that, I mean, just same old.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep putting out as much content as we can. I hope the Spuds episode was good.
Yeah.
Hope people enjoy the Spuds.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know how you like the Spuds.
Yeah.
The Spuds is code for me and Josh are doing less of a complicated episode, and we just want to hop on and kind of talk a little bit.
Yeah. We like to see each other.
Yeah.
We like to see each other and talk to each other.
Yeah. That's good for people that are on a podcast together.
Yeah. Yeah. But, all right, man. Until next time, bippity boppity, give me the zoppity.
Bye. PUDs Podcast was produced and recorded in Black Cat Studios by the Pud Boys. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving us a review and subscribing. Find us on social media, and we'll see you next time.